Brussels sprouts. You either love them or you hate them. Tonight, we're going to utilize a little Texas olive ranch, rattlesnake olive oil, and some of their extra virgin olive oil that is roasted garlic infused. We'll finally season these with everything but the bagel, and then we'll add a little bit of water, let these steam for a bit, and then we shall dine. Throwing this in just because I can. So as the intro said, we're going to make some Brussels sprouts tonight. We've got leftover steak. I know most people don't have that, but we've got leftover steak. And we're going to make some Brussels sprouts. I'm going to add just a little bit of the rattlesnake from Texas Olive Ranch. And I'm going to add a little bit more of the extra virgin olive oil that they have that is roasted garlic infused. That's how it goes. Gonna let this get good and hot. Once this gets good and hot, what we're gonna do is we're gonna place these Brussels down, face down. Once it gets good and hot, we'll be back. You can hear the sizzle. Alrighty, so we have put the Brussels sprouts face down into the oil, and we're going to let those sit there until they brown up a bit. It's going to be a bit angry when you first put them in there, I promise you. We're going to let those go until they're browned. Once they're browned, we're going to turn them over, upside down or face side up, whatever you want to look at it as, and then we'll season those with the Trader Joe's. Everything with the bagel seasoning. I've just added a little bit of Texas Olive Ranch rattlesnake olive oil into that, which got a little spice, little heat to it. But the most part was the Texas Olive Ranch extra virgin olive oil with roasted garlic. That's going to give you some flavor right there. Once these are kind of browned and looking good, what we'll do is we'll flip them over on their backside, add a little water, and cover it up. Let them steam for a bit. So, once these are ready to flip over, we'll come back and kind of show you how we go about it, what the next step is. These are about halfway through where I'm going to want them right now. When I say halfway through, you flip one over like this. Don't worry about that leaf, stick it off the side. You got a little bit of browning going on there. A little more brown than that before I flip them over. Turn up the heat, add some water so they can steam a bit. These are excellent as a side dish for anything beef, pork, or chicken. They're just amazing in flavor. And then once we add the everything but the basil seasoning to them, it's going to add a little salt, it's going to add a little pepper. It's also going to add some black sesame seeds. If you haven't had black sesame seeds before, trust me, they're much different than regular sesame seeds. They've got a more toasty flavor. And you're just going to have to trust me. You're going to have to try those. But we'll be back and we're flipping them over, seasoning them, and then adding the water and covering them up to let them sit and steam for just a bit. Alrighty. These are about where they need to be. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn them over. And these leaves that keep falling off, save those leaves. Trust me, I'll talk to you about that here in a minute. But let's turn these over a little bit. And some are going to say, whoa, wait a second, those are kind of burnt on the bottom side. Not really burnt, kind of caramelized. And like I said, save the leaves. But they're caramelized on the back side. What you're going to get right there is you're getting the natural sugars that are going on inside of the Brussels. And that's turning into fond, which is basically burnt sugars, any way you look at it. And what that does, that just adds flavor. Adds a lot of flavor, actually. And you see I keep pulling these leaves out. What I'm gonna do with these leaves here in a bit, off camera for this time, is I'm going to take those leaves and put them back into a little bit more olive oil and basically kind of crisp them up a little bit with a little bit of the seasoning. And then later in the week, when the bride decides that she wants to have some a salad, she can put those in there. It's going to add a little bit more flavor. Okay, so now we've got them all turned over. Now it's time to come in with the everything but the bagel seasoning. It's got the black sesame seeds going on with that over the top. And don't be shy with it. Don't be shy. After that's done, we're going to add a little bit of water. A little bit of water, I mean a quarter of a cup of water. You can hear that starting to go a little crazy in there, but now it's time to put the lid on. We're going to let those steam. Oh, it may be 5 minutes, it may be 10 minutes, it may be 12. You never know. It depends upon the Brussels sprouts you get, how long you cooked them, but you want to get them to where they're fork tender. Then it's time to serve. We'll be back shortly. Okay, these are about done. We're gonna pull them off. Oh yeah. Definitely steamed to perfection. Good to go. I'm going to turn the burner off at this point. And I'm going to pull these and put them over into a bowl. You can see they're tender, they're falling apart. They are ready to rock and roll. So I'm going to give a little caveat here. We may or may not show what these look like here soon, but trust me, it's going to be good stuff. Y'all take care. Alrighty, we got the Brussels sprouts done. Now it's time to get a little duck fat going on in the pan here. What we're going to do with the duck fat is let it get up to not really frying temperature, but sauteing temperature. And we are going to add some onion. Then we're going to add some leftover steak that we had from the night before. Toss that all together. We're going to serve that with a little bit of our Brussels sprouts. See how it goes. We've got the steak sliced up. Now we're going to fry up some onions. Get those going. When the onions are about 3/4 of the way done, we're going to add the sliced up leftover steak. Now I know a lot of people are going, whoa, 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 leftover steak. Yeah, it happens. The last steak we made was a couple of great big ones, and my wife doesn't eat as much as I do. We're gonna let these go for a couple of minutes. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. I don't want these caramelized necessarily, but I do want them sauteed down just a wee bit before I throw the steak slices in there. So, see y'all in a couple minutes after these tone down a bit. Onions are about ready. Now it's time to get this leftover steak going on inside of there. Gonna drop that in. We're gonna stir this up a bit. As soon as I grab something where I can hang on to this hot ass handle. All I'm doing to do here is I'm gonna stir it up. I'm gonna break this meat up a bit. And I'm gonna cover it. And I'm gonna let it sit for, I don't know, a minute or two. This steak was done to medium rare when we first made it. Now tonight it's just gonna be kind of a side, or not a side dish, it's gonna be a dish. But kind of got it broken up a bit. Oh, maybe. There we go. Kind of got it broken up a bit. Now I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to let this just kind of sit there, steam in its own juice for a bit. Once it's done, it's going to be time to serve this with some, as soon as this unfolds, it's going to be time to serve this with some Brussels sprouts. So, covered it up. We'll be back. May not be the best lighting ever. Got a little beef here with some onion. And got some badass broccoli going on. So we are about to dine, and hope everyone is well. See y'all next time. Y'all take care.